how space itself can be scripted, and ended up leading bus tours of the city that tried to decipher those scripts. I taught a seminar on rebranding Los Angeles. I spent a year at the Huntington Library going through the archives, looking for tissue that would connect everything I was learning. I came to realize that the only way to understand the city, at least for me, was to weave stories about it, and like Scheherazade, to keep weaving as if my life depended on it. The stories that follow reimagine Los Angeles, creating a series of internal connections between the disparate but also around common themes. Each chapter is a narrative unto itself, but there are threads that connect one essay to another. Characters return in different guises, landscapes get retraced, familiar locales take on new attributes, correlations build. The web works of Los Angeles-based artist Pei White have been an inspiration. White would search her grandmother's garden in Pasadena for the largest, most labyrinthine spiderwebs she could find, slide colored paper behind them, spray them with fixative, and frame the results in a spare modernist style. Like alchemy, White's simple process transmutes nature into culture and reminds us that nothing stands in isolation, that connection is the way of the world. The old line about Hollywood the industry, scratch the phony tinsel and you'll find real tinsel underneath, has tended to apply to too much writing about Los Angeles, the place. L.A. is a real place, after all, not just a back lot, with real stories that are more complex, contradictory, and compelling than anything that ever made it to the screen. These are the stories that follow, and they are for the people who live in the city, but also those who don't but are drawn to its legends. A story about a story told by Amy Semple McPherson might be just the right way to finish here. Sister Amy, as she was known, was the most famous woman in 1920s America, and without doubt the most famous resident of Los Angeles not working in the movie business. A white Pentecostal preacher who lost her first husband while evangelizing in China, who spoke in tongues, faith healed the sick, and rode a motorcycle on stage to preach the gospel, Sister Amy was a hellion who enraged the more genteel elements of the city, as well as other pastors, when she preached racial harmony on the radio and fed the poor of all colors and nationalities from her Angelus Temple, just below Sunset Boulevard with a grand view of Echo Park Lake. One day, in 1926, she disappeared while visiting Venice Beach. Her mother hired divers to search for her body. Her followers were devastated, and the city went through one of its longest periods of true mystery. 5 weeks later, the miraculous occurred. Sister Amy popped up in Mexico, having escaped from a trio of kidnappers, Steve, Jake, and Mexicali Rose. She returned to be greeted by some 30,000 jubilant Angelinos, unfazed by the fact that her desert captivity had left her neither bloody nor bowed, and accepting of the fact that the hunky and married engineer of her radio show had disappeared and reappeared at about the same time, witnesses claiming they'd seen him and Sister Amy canoodling in Northern California. No amount of shaming by the city's power elite and her fellow preachers, not even a grand jury inquiry, was able to rattle Sister Amy. "That's my story, and I'm sticking to it," she said. So, too, it is with my stories about what is now as much my city as it was Sister Amy's, and I'm sticking to them. 1. The Alchemical City. Drive-by punditry, location scouts, and a user's guide to elemental Los Angeles. The solution, once revealed, must seem to have been inevitable. Raymond Chandler. Casual Notes on the Mystery Novel. There it is. Take it. So William Mulholland addressed the 30,000 flag-waving people who'd hiked, driven, and arrived on horseback at the terminus of the Los Angeles Aqueduct. Deep in the dusty San Fernando Valley on November 5, 1913, the band played Yankee Doodle as the sluice gates opened and millions of gallons of water flowed down from the Owens River more than 200 miles away. Mulholland had engineered the marvel of the age, irrigating the valley and quenching the city's thirst. His great public work performed an